Welcome, everyone. On I-78.
Thank you.
Welcome. This is
Well,
Donald
thank you very
Trump
much.
at the Anti-Semitism Roundtable in Washington, D.C.
Thank you very much, Miriam. I don't know if you know it. It's a great lady. This is a great lady. This is a great one. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. All right, let's sit down. Let's talk about Israel, or Israel, as they say. I love the pronunciation. I love it. But you really are. You're a great lady, a great woman, my friend. And I've known you and Sheldon for a long time. We lost Sheldon. And nobody like him, right? You would say that. Nobody like him, but nobody like you either. And he's very proud of you right now. Thank you very much. And I'd also like to thank Rabbis Yehuda Kaplun and Yaakov Kaplun, Senators Rick Scott, doing well. Where's Rick? He's doing well. I saw a poll, and another one who's doing well is Ted Cruz. Ted, stand up, Ted. Thank you, Ted. Thank you. And Lindsey doesn't have to do well because he's got another few years to go before he runs. It's something nice about that. But Lindsey Graham is terrific guy. Bill Haggerty, who's fantastic. Bill, thank you very much. And Joni Ernst. Where's Joni Ernst? Joni, thank you very much, Joni. Great, doing a great job. Those farmers love Joni. I'll tell you, she was tough, right? She came to see me, and I thought I made a deal, and then she said, no, we want more. But that's what you're supposed to have, right? Good job, Joni, and you got it. Former Senator Norm Coleman. Norm, thank you, Norm. You look good. And a spectacular person, Elise Stefanik. Spectacular. What she did to that woman at Harvard with the big fat glasses. That woman had no idea what was happening. That was beautiful to watch, actually. A friend of mine, Carlos Jimenez. Carlos, thank you, Carlos. Got a lot of power here. There's a lot of power here. You know, this is like the old days. Because frankly, there's been a movement going on. I call it AOC +3, but the +3 is a lot more. And we have to end that. We have to end it. We have to end it fast. I've never seen anything like it. John Carter, please. John, where's John? Thank you, John. Thank you very much. Good job. Mario Diaz-Balart. Mario, thank you. Thank you, Mario. Byron Donalds. Boy, he's a popular guy. He is, and he's a great guy with a great future. Good. I didn't see you back there. You didn't. He has so many pictures with me. He didn't need a picture. He doesn't want another picture. Ronnie Jackson. What a great guy. Think of this. He was an admiral, a great admiral, respected by everybody. Then he became the White House doctor, took care of maybe Bush a little bit. And Obama, right? And then Trump.
I was the only one.
And they asked him, who's the most healthy of the group? And he said, not even a contest. Who? Trump. In fact, he said Trump would live for 200 years if he didn't eat junk food. I don't know if I like that, but that was okay. Great doctor. Now he's a really popular congressman, and he's our friend. And when I had a little ear problem, he was there. He literally came from Texas, and he did a great job, and I appreciate it very much, Ron. Thank you. Because once you're a doctor, you're always a doctor, even if you're a congressman, I guess, right? Don't you think? Somebody who's been really spectacular, especially for the last few months. I don't know what happened to him, but boy, he likes me a lot better now than he used to. Michael Lawler. Am I correct in that? Where's Michael? Right? Something happened. But he likes me better now than he used to, and I like that because he's a good man, great man. Mike Flood. Mike, thank you. Virginia Fox. Virginia. Thank you, Virginia. Michael Waltz, who's doing a great job in defending all of us on television. He's doing a great job on television. And a spectacular woman, a beautiful woman. I'm not allowed to say that anymore because, you know, it usually puts you out of politics, but I've said much worse than that. But she's a beautiful woman, and she really is with the most incredible family. And she came to me about endorsing someone in her area who had no chance. And I said, okay, we'll do it against an incumbent Republican that I didn't like very much and probably didn't like me. So we took a chance, Mary, didn't we? Mary Miller, we took a chance, and our candidate won in a landslide, right? So that was great. We don't like having to do that, but in that case, we had no choice. Ambassador Lana Marks, who was terrific. Thank you, Lana. Good job. You did a great job as ambassador. West Virginia Treasurer Riley Moore. Thank you, Riley. Thank you. Going on to very big things, actually. Jacob Hellberg. Jacob, thank you. Thank you, Jacob. Great job. Somebody who's very talented, knows a lot about a lot at a very young age. Morgan Ortegas. Morgan. Thank you, darling. And also somebody who defends me so well, Elizabeth Pipko. Elizabeth? Wow, I watched you last night, Elizabeth. You were brutal to this other person. They didn't have a chance last night, Elizabeth. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We need all the defense we can get. And a friend of mine and a man who's actually a great environmentalist. He really is a great one. And he wrote a book on Donald Trump as a great environmentalist, which is actually true, but a lot of people don't know that. But I'm an environmentalist with common sense. I like buildings to have windows. You know, they'd like to close up all windows. The building should be built 90 stories tall, but that doesn't matter, but can't have any windows. The things they're doing with the Green New scam is just unbelievable. 97 trillion. How can we do that, Ted? I think that's very doable. 97 trillion. Most people don't know what that means. Nobody knows. Nobody's ever heard of a number. To do the Green New scam the way they want it. 97, that's more than China, the United States, and every country in the world for the next 200 years has. But they go along with it anyway. But he's a great gentleman and a friend of mine, Ed Russo. Where is Ed? I'll tell you, that's great that Ed is here. Wow. Before we begin, I just want to mention some polls that just came out. And I've decided to go back to doing this because they never release the polls when they're good. And they've been really good, and they don't release them. And unless one comes out, they had one that came out the other day where they interviewed 51% Democrat, 22% Republican. Trump's down by 6. I said, how the hell can you win on a poll like that? When you're down by they interview 40% more Democrats, and then they say, if you're down by 6, that means you're actually winning by about 15. But we don't go with that. But we do go with the respected polls. And we go with polls because they don't want to release them because they've all been pretty good. In the very, very, I think, accurate poll over the last 9 or 10 years, I think Rasmussen's been really one of the best. And it was just released a little while ago. I'm leading by 8 points against a woman that you cannot allow to happen. I mean, honestly, you are generally Jewish people. We have a lot of good Christians there that love Israel, by the way. In many ways, they love Israel more than Jewish people love Israel, which is shocking, but nevertheless, we'll take it, right? We have a lot of great Christians that love Israel, but we're up by 8 with Rasmussen. We're at 52 to 44, so that's a big one. And we're up by 11 with independents in Rasmussen also. Just came out. That's a lot because, as you know, Rick Scott, we were talking about it a little while, and independents are very important. And when you're up by that number, that's a pretty good thing. Then the Emerson poll, highly respected. We're up in Arizona. We're up in Wisconsin. And we're up substantially in Pennsylvania. And those are the 3 that they did. And in the New York Times poll even, which is shocking because, I wouldn't say they love me. I wouldn't say I love them either. But I'm up by 9 in the Midwest. That's a big one. And the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, we're up by at least 3 in Georgia. And CNN has us up. I love seeing like a CNN, and then we're up. So if you're up 5, you're probably up 20 or something. But in CNN, we're up 5 in Arizona. The Daily Express poll has us up 5 in all of the battleground states, which is great. So I say 47 days from now, we're going to defeat Kamala Harris. You have to defeat Kamala Harris. More than any other people on earth, Israel, I believe, has to defeat her. You know that? And I've never said this before. I'm thinking, Miriam, more than any people on earth, Israel has to defeat her. I really believe that it's a disaster for Israel. And you know why, and you've heard her statements. We're going to take back our country, and we're going to make Israel great again, and we're going to make America great again. We're going to make them both great again, greater than ever before. We've gathered today to talk about the scourge of anti-Semitism tonight. We're 2 weeks away from the 1-year anniversary of the worst attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust, without question. On October 7th, which would have never happened if I was president, by the way, I have to always preface it by saying it would have never, ever happened. Innocent men, women, children, and babies were tortured, maimed, kidnapped, and killed. It was an amazing sight, especially if you were able to see, and you don't want to necessarily see it, some of the tapes and film that was made of the atrocity. It was a wake-up call for the entire world, and you have to take it that it is a wake-up call. Get smart. Instead, even here in America, Jewish citizens have been forced to endure the worst outbreak of anti-Semitism in many generations. And so many people shockingly even deny the attack took place. This is a new thing. I saw it recently where they're interviewing people. They said, well, we don't know if there was an attack. I don't know. It's just so terrible. And, there were people I read many times during the Holocaust, we had people denying it. They were deniers. They said, we don't believe it ever took place. And it's a terrible thing when they say that. I never thought I would see anything like what is happening right now. I never thought you'd ever see a thing like this ever happen. It's beyond belief. 15 years ago, Israel was the strongest lobby, if you want to use the word lobby, had the strongest representation of people like this. These are great people, Miriam. But the strongest there was, if you said something about a Jewish person or something about Israel that was bad, you were out of politics. Unless your name was Ted Cruz, he could get through. I think Ted could get through, but maybe not. Maybe even Ted. But it's true. You said something about Israel that was bad. It was like, today, you have to fight. We all have to fight for Israel. I am so surprised to see it, but we're going to win the fight, so don't worry about it, okay? We'll win the fight. There are those that say it's very much like a long time ago when you could say anything, but all across our land, you've seen Jewish Americans harassed and attacked and terrorized by anti-Semites and Hamas sympathizers. I can't believe what we've been witnessing over the last year. Actually, I've watched it in great detail. I've watched it, and I've watched it take place. It's hard to believe. Yet, despite presiding over this explosion of anti-Semitism, Kamala Harris has done absolutely nothing. She has not lifted a single finger to protect you or to protect your children or to even protect you with words. I'm here today to tell the Jewish American community that this ugly tide of anti-Semitic, pro-Hamas bigotry and hate will be turned back and crushed starting at noon on January 20th, 2025. Thank you. Thank you. It will be a bright new day for the Jewish community in America. No longer will you have to walk the streets in fear. You're walking the streets in fear. Can you believe it? Young college students are afraid to go to college. It's not something that anybody thought they would ever hear or see. No longer will you be threatened on your college campuses. No longer will you be discriminated against in college admissions. And no longer will your own government import jihadists from places that we don't even want to talk about. And they want Jew haters from overseas, and they let them come in and resettle in your communities right here at home. And nobody's ever seen anything like it. My promise to Jewish Americans is this: with your vote, I will be your defender, your protector, and I will be the best friend Jewish Americans have ever had in the White House. You know that. Thank you. But in all fairness, I already am. I think I already am. I don't have to think. In fact, I already am. I am the best defender you've had as president by far. I think there'd be no question. Miriam mentioned 4 or 5 of the things. Those each individual thing. Oh, her husband would drive me crazy. You have to do this. You have to do that. You don't know what I had to put up with. She was like the calming influence. I said, Sheldon, I can't do that. It's too much. He said, no. And every time I got something, he'd immediately start with something else, right? He'd get something, always fighting for Israel and the Jewish people. But, I had such great respect for him. It's true, though. She had to sometimes tell him, calm down. You just had a big victory. Let's celebrate. No, we have to immediately start. Let's see if we can do Golan Heights. How about Golan Heights? They've been trying to get it for 72 years. I got it done in about 15 minutes, okay? So. Even Sheldon couldn't believe that one, I'll tell you. Even Sheldon couldn't believe that one. He said, we just got Golan Heights. They didn't even ask for it. I actually gave you that one. You didn't ask for it, but I thought it was important. Ground zero for the outbreak of the anti-Jewish hate under Kamala Harris has been our college campuses. At UCLA a few months ago, Marxist thugs dressed up like terrorists and created, quote, Jew exclusion zones, blocking Jewish students from entering parts of the campus. Can you imagine that? A week after the October 7th attack on Israel, anti-Semites at Miami University in Ohio sent Jewish students and staff an email that said, quote, the best Jew is the dead Jew, end of quote. This is stuff that's not even thinkable. And the colleges do nothing about it, too. Most of them. At Baruch College, a mob of Hamas supporters targeted a group of innocent Jewish freshmen at a welcoming dinner, shouted slurs and mocked them for the death of Jewish hostages in Israel. At Princeton University, radical activists displayed the Hezbollah flag very proudly. At Columbia, you watched that along with everybody else. It was terrible. They took control of the school buildings, these magnificent buildings. They beat the hell out of them, by the way. And the campus became so dangerous for Jewish students at the university, rabbi told them, please go home, go home. A Yale professor called October 7th an extraordinary day. It was a great day, he said. A Cornell professor said that these heinous attacks were, quote, exhilarating and energizing to everyone. Kamala Harris said that the radical demonstrators on college campuses were, quote, human emotion should be this way. This is her message. This is somebody that's among 2 people. So we started off with 350 million. Of course, we really don't know how many people we have in the country anymore. They're coming in so fast at the border. Many criminals, many from jails, prisons, many from mental institutions, from insane asylums, terrorists. They're pouring in at levels we've never seen before. And she was the border czar. She now says she wasn't, but she was still in charge of the border. She's the one that did it. And I will tell you, the message that she gave is wrong. It's dangerous and it's unbefitting a candidate for the president of the United States. So think of it. Let's assume 350 million. We're down to 2. I told our great First Lady the other day, well, we're down to 2, and now we're leading in the polls by, I think, a lot. I'm calling on Kamala Harris to officially disavow the support of all Hamas sympathizers, anti-Semites, Israel haters on college campuses and everywhere else. So I'm calling on her to do that, just disavow, but she won't do it. You know that. She's not going to do it. She's going to talk. She's going to talk about nothing, talk about the weather. And sadly, and I have to say this, and it hurts me to say it, you're going to still vote for Democrats, and it doesn't make sense. I say all the time that any Jewish person that votes for her, especially now, her or the Democrat Party, should have their head examined. It's true. And, I just find it so hard to believe. And part of it is habit, I guess. And respectfully, with all that I've done, I'll maybe go over it quickly, but Miriam did it better than I could, all the different things with Golan, with all of the things that we did. And really, the one thing we didn't mention is I terminated the Iran nuclear deal. And that is, I think, the biggest of them all. But okay. The problem is we could have had a deal, any deal we wanted. Michael knows that better than anybody. But Biden and Harris, and nobody knows it. When you say Harris, people say, who's Harris? You have to say Kamala, because nobody knows who the hell Harris is. That's her last name. But nobody knows it. Isn't it weird? How's Harris doing? Who the hell is Harris? How's Kamala doing? Oh, isn't it as weird? I never saw anything like it. So we'll just call it Kamala. But you really, when you think about it, it's amazing that you're such nice people, because a lot of people wouldn't allow that to happen. We're joined today by several dozen Jewish American students from colleges across America. Thank you all for being here. And here's what I will do to defeat anti-Semitism and defend our Jewish citizens in America. My first week back in the Oval Office, my administration will inform every college president that if you do not end anti-Semitic propaganda, they will lose their accreditation and federal taxpayer support. Okay. Truth is, you don't have to do much after that. When you do that, it's going to work miracles. Please sit down. We will not subsidize the creation of terrorist sympathizers, and we're not going to do it certainly on American soil. We're not going to do it anywhere. Next, I will inform every educational institution in our land that if they permit violence, harassment, or threats against Jewish students, the schools will be held accountable for violations of the civil rights law. Very important. Jewish Americans must have equal protection under the law. They're going to get it. At the same time, my administration will move swiftly to restore safety for Jewish students and Jewish people on American streets. Jews have been beaten on their way to synagogue in Los Angeles just recently, beaten on their way. Jewish American businesses have been vandalized, yet once again, the Harris-Biden administration has done absolutely nothing about it, doesn't even comment. Here in Washington, radical Hamas supporters tore down the American flag in front of Union Station, set it on fire, and hoisted the Palestinian flag, while police officers and they were spray painting at police officers and at the beautiful monuments surrounding the area and the flag, lions, people. And it was being in the construction business, this is a stone, it's limestone, that when you spray paint limestone, You'll see it in 100 years. They can take it off, but they can't really take it off. You'll see everything that they said in 100 years. It's a very porous stone. And what they've done is unbelievable. But I don't see them getting long sentences in prison like happened to other people. I don't see them even being approached or attacked in any way. They allow them to do it. But watch those limestones. I looked at them the other day, and that stone just sucks up that paint. It goes deep. You're going to see it in 100 years from now. Kamala Harris, let them go. She said, let them go. I will end this political violence and harassment once and for all. You know, when I was president, we had a moment where Washington was, in a sense, being attacked. They were trying to pull down statues, and I pulled out about an 1897 statute, very important. And it said that anybody touching, ripping down, or even trying to rip down a monument or a statue in the Capitol or anywhere else in the land up to the president will get 10 years in jail, no probation, no nothing. It's 10 years. It's not 10 years, but you serve 3 days. It's 10 years and you serve all 10 years. You couldn't get a thing like that passed today, I don't think. What do you think, Ted? Not too easily. If you got 2 days, it would be a miracle. No, it's 10 years. It was so old. I lifted up this. It was old and dusty, but it read beautifully. And I invoked it, and I had a speech. I said, here's the story. Anybody touching a statue, and it ended when they had Abraham Lincoln ready to be pulled over. You remember that? I said, Abraham Lincoln, now we're hitting Lincoln. And I read it, and I told people that anybody from this moment on that pulls down anything or even tries to pull down a statue, you go into jail for 10 years. And it was an amazing sight, Miriam. Everybody just dropped the ropes. The ropes were left. They dropped the ropes and they started walking out of town. I was watching thousands of asses from the back. And it was a beautiful sight. It was a beautiful sight. It was a beautiful sight. They just started walking in a different direction. And that was the last of the problem we had. Remember the big problems we were having? They actually wanted to rip down Thomas Jefferson Memorial. They didn't like Jefferson. They didn't like Washington. They didn't like Lincoln. They didn't like anybody. I will oppose, and I will make sure that you're protected. I will oppose all of the horrible things that they're thinking of doing, and they are thinking of doing bad things. It's not believable. I will also secure our borders from dangerous anti-American and anti-Semitic hate. Not only has Kamala thrown open our southern border, and again, she was in charge of your border. Now she's trying to say, well, I wasn't really the border czar. I never heard her disavow border czar before. But open to terrorists and criminals, she's supported unlimited migration from terrorist hotbeds into the United States, especially some of the hotbeds that most hate Israel. Under border czar Harris, armies of foreign Hamas sympathizers now march brazenly through our cities. They're literally marching in our cities, and they came from some very vicious, violent parts of the world, and they do not like Jewish people, and they do not like Israel, and they've let that be known, and we are not going to tolerate it. I will not let what happened to Paris, what happened to London, and what's happening to them too, by the way, that's not over. What happened to Brussels happened here in America. It's not going to happen. We will deport the foreign jihad sympathizers and Hamas supporters from our midst. We will get them out of our country. I will ban refugee resettlement from terror-infested areas like the Gaza Strip. And we will seal our border and bring back the travel ban. Remember the famous travel ban? We didn't take people from certain areas of the world because I didn't want to have people ripping down and burning our shopping centers and killing people. But we're not taking them from infested countries. We will quickly rebuild the greatest economy in the history of the world for Jewish Americans and for all Americans. It will happen very quickly. We will defeat inflation, cut energy costs in half, and we will have something that some people in this room would be interested in. Frankly, some won't, but I'll say it anyway because you got those television cameras blaring. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors. That's a good one for this room. This room likes that last one. And to help Americans who are buried in crushing credit card debt under the Kamala Harris economy, we will have a temporary 10% cap on credit card interest rates because they're paying 20 and 25% and they're getting decimated. So it'll be a temporary 10% cap. But look,
That
this
works.
is the most important election in the history of the United States, and it's also the most important election in the history of Israel. The United States election is the most important election in the history of Israel, actually, if you think about it. How crazy does that sound? But it's true. With all I have done for Israel, I received only 24% of the Jewish vote. Now think of this. I really haven't been treated very well, but that's the story of my life. It's true. Think of it. But I understood that because I wasn't really tested. I wasn't a politician, and I won, but I understood that. And then I became president and was the best president ever for the people of Israel and for Jewish people, the best president ever. And I did more for them than any president has, and probably any president can do or will do, other than the current situation that's coming up, because I have a feeling that maybe that's going to be more than anything that was even done in the past, if you want to know the truth, because I think Israel's in big trouble. But I gave them, as Mir said, Golan Heights. I gave them the Abraham Accords, which is amazing. Nobody thought that was possible. 4 strong, powerful countries signed. Think of it. I would have had every country signed. I might have even had Iran signed, okay? As crazy as that sounds. You're kidding. You know that, Michael. I might have even had that. But we had peace in the Middle East. When I left, we had peace in the Middle East, but I had the Abraham Accords. And it was something that if Obama had done it, that would have been any prize, you named the prize, but they would have had every single prize ever devised by man. I did it. Nobody said a thing, and that's okay. I do the right thing. And I was helped a lot by Jared and a lot of other people that really understood what was going on. But I recognized the capital of Israel and opened the embassy in Jerusalem and got it built. Not just had it there, the generals came in one of my days in office. They said, "Sir, could you sign this? What is it?" It said, "Order for $2 billion to be spent on a embassy that would have cost much more." I said, "Where's the land?" "We don't have it yet, sir, but we have a couple of terrible sites under negotiation." I'm good at real estate. These were bad locations in Jerusalem. I said, "Do we have anything? Let us look, sir." And they do. They had a site that was better than anything we had, a much better location, and we have it for nothing. So far, I'm doing a good job. Then I said, "Is there a building on it?" "Yes, there is, but it's not in use." I said, "Is it structurally sound?" "Oh, yes, very strong, very structurally sound." "Is it setback?" Because you want setbacks for embassies for things called bombs. "Yes, it's setback, and it's on high. It's one of the best locations." I said, "So we have it." So I dealt with David Friedman. I said, "David, how much would it cost to renovate the building? Give me a good price." And he came back and said $400,000. I said, "David, that's too low." This is the only time I've ever said this. Usually I say, "It's too high, cut them in half." This time I said, "That's crazy. From $2 billion, think of it, to $400,000. And I said, "That's too low. We got to spend more." And we ended up spending a little bit more than that, very little. And a friend of mine has, a couple of you have heard this, Jerusalem stone in his office building. And every time I walk by the elevator bank, he says, "Look at this stone. It's Jerusalem stone, so expensive." And I said to him, very successful guy, very rich guy, and he was complaining about the price. "It's Jerusalem." But every time, after 20 times, I say, "Don't tell me it's Jerusalem stone again." Right on the elevator bank, beautiful stone, Jerusalem stone. So I'm there and I say, "Listen, by any chance," talking to one of the contractors, I said, "You think you could use Jerusalem stone? Is it expensive?" "No, it's cheap as hell. We're in Jerusalem." And we built the whole building out of Jerusalem stone. And we did it very inexpensively, got it opened in about 4 or 5 months. You would still be talking about your $2 billion building, Ted. That building would be under talk for about 5 more years, and then they'd spend $5 billion and it would look like hell. This building is better. You'll never do better. Someday they'll rip it down and do some monster. But I was very proud we got it built. And most importantly of all, in my opinion, because I asked, what's the best? Golan Heights, is it? Is it Jerusalem, the capital, moving the embassy and all of that? What is the best? What's the best? Is it the Abraham Accords? And some friends of mine that are very smart, no, not even close. The best thing you ever did for Israel is you terminated the Iran nuclear deal, which was the worst deal ever made for Israel or for any country. That was the best. That's true. That was more important. Remember, that was more important than any of the other things, of the many other things that we did. The problem is that Harris, Kamala, and Biden did absolutely nothing with it. You could have made after the election, which we had a very bad thing happen with that election. Think of it. If that election were proper, you wouldn't have had Russia attacking Ukraine. You wouldn't have had October 7th, would have never happened because, as you know, Iran had no money at that time, none, zero, nothing. They had no money to fund. There were stories about it, that there was no money for terror. You wouldn't have had inflation. You wouldn't have had that horrible leaving of Afghanistan in such a way, not the leaving because we were ready to leave. We would have left before them, but we were leaving with strength and dignity. That was the worst. I think it was the lowest day, the most embarrassing day in the history of our country. Because of that, probably that's why Putin went in. He would have never gone in with me, though. But all of these things, and on top of everything else, I gave them more than $20 billion, Israel. And I said, when I did it, I said, I'm the best friend they ever had. And still, in 2020, so remember, I got 25%. Now I did all of these things, and I got 29%. Think of it. So I wasn't treated right, but it's not me that's been treating badly. It's Israel, because you can make a big difference in the vote. You're going to be a big factor in the vote. I will say places like Miami and different places were great, but honestly, I went from 25 to 29, and based on what I did and based on my love of the same love that you have, I should be at 100. I should be at 100, but let me give you the bad news. A poll, I just told you how good the polls are, but we need every vote we can get. The current polling has me with Jewish citizens, Jewish people that's supposed to love Israel. After having done all of that, having been the best president, the greatest president by far, a poll just came out. I'm at 40%. That means you got 60% voting for somebody that hates Israel. And I say it's going to happen. It's only because of the Democrat hold or curse on you. You can't let this happen. 40% is not acceptable because we have an election to win. So after all of this, I went from 29 to 40%. And people that are smart said to me, friend of mine, Jewish, friend of mine loves Israel, loves everything about your religion and about your country, your place. He said, I can't believe it's happening. It's sad. And he started to cry, actually. He started to cry with all of this. And he's a tough cookie. I don't think he cried since he was a little tiny baby. Maybe then I don't think he cried. I don't think he cried then, Miriam. But I will put it to you very simply and gently. I really haven't been treated right, but you haven't been treated right because you're putting yourself in great danger. And the United States hasn't been treated right. So if I don't win this election, and I've been very good, they say Trump's been right about everything. I've been right about a lot of things. Even Ted will admit that. I've been right about a lot of things that a lot of people said, no, that won't happen, but a lot of bad things happened, and some good things I've been right about too. And I only want to be, so I'm not going to call this as a prediction, but in my opinion, the Jewish people would have a lot to do with a loss. If I'm at 40%, if I'm at 40%, think of it. That means 60% are voting for Kamala, who in particular is a bad Democrat. The Democrats are bad to Israel, very bad. They'll never change because they have a section of their party now which has become amazingly and quickly very powerful vote-wise. I mean, Chuck Schumer is a Palestinian. Who would have thought that was going to happen? What the hell happened to him? I saw him the other day. He was dressed in one of their robes. No, that'll be next. No, Chuck Schumer is Hamas all the way. I don't know what the hell happened to him. If you support him, you're crazy. I have never seen his change may be bigger than Kamala on fracking in Pennsylvania, okay? But if we don't win this election, Israel, in my opinion, within a period of 2 to 3 years, will cease to exist. It's going to be wiped out. That's what's going to happen. It's a tough thing to say, but what difference does it make from my standpoint? I have to tell you the truth, and maybe you'll be energized because there's no way that I should be getting 40% of the vote. I'm the one that's protecting you. These are the people that are going to destroy you, and you have 60% of the Jewish people essentially voting for them. If I do win, Israel will be safe and secure, and we will stop the toxic poison of anti-Semitism from spreading all over America and all over the world. We'll get it stopped. But if I don't win, I believe Israel will be eradicated, and you can't let that happen. And I don't think you will let that happen. So you have to, Rabbi, you have to get everybody together, and you have to get them to vote, because it's craziness to say I'm at 40%. And when I heard that number today, it just came out today. When I heard that number today, I think it was insulting to our country. It was insulting to Israel. You know, it's very interesting. They did a poll in Israel. I'm like at 99% favorable. I could run for, right now, I could run for any office in Israel. In Israel, they love me. Here, not so much. But they do love me in Israel. Miriam, I'm at 99%. Everybody loves me. I could run for prime minister. Would you like me as your prime minister? But I have to learn your language. That's a tough language to learn. I have to learn it in about 3 months. I have to learn it very quickly. But no, I'm most popular person in Israel. But here it doesn't translate. It's a strange thing. So we have to save Israel. Look, you're here for a reason. We have to save Israel. This is no longer games. This is no longer games. This is the saving of Israel. And I'm going to mention it. We're making a big statement in a little while at another conference, also very important. And I'm going to mention it again and again. I believe that Israel will be wiped off the face of the earth if I don't win. And that's a big statement. That's a horrible statement to make. And it's just the way I feel. And a lot of people in this room agree with me. Because look at what's happened in the last 2 years. I have never seen anything like it, where something has gone so down so fast, where even Jewish people are protesting in these groups. They're Jewish people. People wearing yarmulkes are in these groups that are protesting with 100,000 people. So they have to change their way, because with your vote, you can reject anti-Semitism in our schools, in our communities, in our foreign policy, and in our immigration system. But all of that starts by rejecting Kamala Harris at the ballot box. She is anti-Israel and she is anti-Jewish, and you got to get smart to it. And with that, I have great love and great respect for so many of the people in the room. I have so many friends in this room. I fought so hard for you, but it's time that you fight the real fight. And the real fight is to save Israel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
All right, y'all. So we have seen Donald Trump speaking at a anti-Semitism presentation in Washington D.C. I guess this was IAC. Let me just say something real quick. During this election season, I'm showing Trump as well as Harris not to make a stand one way or the other. It is for everybody to have all of the available information so that when they vote, they can make a educated decision. So we're not gonna have we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna have these goofy ass comments. You going to jail, you lying, I don't like you, all that kind of bullshit. Like that's not what we here for. If you have, something to say that's constructive and relevant to what's going on, feel free. But we're not here to entertain, the 2-year-old damn insults. Yeah, because my minds don't play. Let me, if y'all don't know, let me let y'all know right now. My minds don't play them games. Because I actually had to back them up. Y'all think they rough down. I didn't have to, keep them at bay for a little while. But y'all keep on with this foolishness. We here for information. If you listening to it and you don't agree with it, then that's fine. You can tell us why you don't agree with it, but you need to come with something better than he lying and I'm not feeling him. You got to come better than that. Because we can, if something you don't understand, we can have a conversation and explain it. But if you just over here on some troll time, trust and believe my mind's gonna cut your head off. Trust and believe that. You can believe that like the 1st and the 15th. That's real. Hi Calvin, how are you? Welcome. So I'm just letting y'all know that's not what we're here for. We're here for information. Because this is the 3rd time I've shown him this week, and all 3 nights he has added something to his policies. For all of y'all who say he don't have any policies that he's talking about, don't show up an hour and a half into the damn speech talking about he ain't talking about nothing, because you missed a whole hour and a half, so you don't know what the hell he said. And for those of y'all who not feeling him and you down with Kamala, we cover her too. Just tell her ass to come out and say something. Just tell her to come out and say something. Yes, Miss Sidbay, I show both candidates. If you go back and scroll through my channel, I show both candidates. I absolutely do. So yeah, I'm not here as a Trump supporter. I'm not here as a Harris supporter. I'm not here as a Trump basher, nor am I here as a Harris basher. I'm here to bring you the information. If it makes sense to me or I agree with it, I will say that. If it doesn't, then it just doesn't. But yeah, if you want to be over here and keep your head intact, then have something to say. But he a liar, he a criminal, Trump for jail, put Kamala in jail, we ain't feeling her, down with the, with the Indians and all that kind of crazy stuff. We're not here for that over here. We really not. So we ain't doing that. Well, I guess we the 10th state because the Democrats run our education and these kids can't read. But you say free Diddy. Okay. Now see, you started out on something that makes some sense, but yeah. Thank you, Miss Sidney. I appreciate that. There are. Absolutely. Hi, Jacob. Yeah, I wish candidates would sit down and have a dinner together. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Dover, we gonna leave it at this. Just wait till he it's supposed to be sometime next week. Just wait till he get there and we'll see what he finds. So just let it go. Trump is sat down with a lot of people, Raven. Don't see, that's what I'm talking about. Don't come over here with the damn foolishness. We just got through watching him meet with the Jewish community. So let's not bring the bullshit. See, I was just talking about that. Okay, we need better. It's America. We're supposed to be doing better than decent. Thank you for the support, Eric. What you say? This is fun. This is the funny thing. When we have Kamala Harris speech on live, y'all sorry asses never sorry ass trolls never show up, but y'all love to troll. For real, because I'm gonna be honest, my Harris numbers and my Trump numbers is damn near 4-1. I'm gonna be real honest. Yeah, y'all ain't showing up for this Kamala action like y'all showing up for Trump. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, I show both of them. Hey, thank you, Prime. Yeah, he came right over there and addressed their ass. You was here for it, Prime. I streamed the whole thing and had a conversation with the people after it was over. Go ahead, scroll back through. You say pure racism against people don't fit. Okay, absolutely social. See, we ain't doing that. Yeah, 2 months after the damn fact, after she was supposed to be there, Calvin, come on, do better than this. As a black man, you got to do better than this. Call it what it is. Come on. Isaac, she's not black. She said, you feel the American people should force a unity ticket. President Lee can pick the Democrat as his VP. Why can't it be the same now? Okay. I mean, listen. Apparently, God don't want Trump yet. He got to stay down here and do something. You have to ask him about that when you get up there. But right now, he was like, "No, you stay on Earth." Okay, Dover. At this point, the only real way to fact check it is to take your ass to Springfield. So we gotta let that go. Yes, free Diddy. Yes, free Diddy. Absolutely, Sean. Free Diddy. Because all this fake ass outrage is ridiculous. Democratic policies are better for the United States. No, I can't ride with that. See, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, see, we're not doing that. Y'all don't listen. Y'all don't listen. I said plain as day, we wasn't doing that over here. Y'all motherfuckers don't listen, but okay, keep on playing. Yeah. Okay, sir. But we got hundreds of other citizens that say something different. Hell, my mayor just got to tell a lie. So what you talk about, Dover? You know what, Prime? It ain't even that. It's they trying to make him roll on the powerful people. The powerful people ain't even in this yet. This a bunch of damn women who trying to keep, you know what I'm saying, since the Me Too movement was, I'm gonna do a live stream on this shit tonight. Since the Me Too movement was losing steam, they had to come up with some bullshit. But y'all gonna sit up here and write some laws so that you can bring an entire indictment based on somebody who wasn't even supposed to be opening their fucking mouth because they signed the NDA and took the man money. Oops. Then y'all convict Trump of that shit. My bad. Listen, y'all, this is ridiculous. This is what's going on in these Democratic run cities, Calvin. This is what the hell they doing instead of taking care of real issues. Okay, Calvin, what you don't realize is actually black people founded the Republican Party. Let's quit playing. Yeah, see, Isaac, you act like you can't hear either, because I know I'm speaking real English. I know I'm speaking real English. Trump will not save the black. Ain't none of them gonna save the black community. So Raven, let that go too. Ain't none of them gonna save the black community. Hell, ain't neither one of them black. So how the hell they gonna come tell us about what to do? We don't even know how to get ourselves together. How the hell they gonna save us? Y'all stop playing. Stop playing. I didn't time Calvin out. So I don't know which one of I don't know which one of the headhunters got him. I don't even know, but I told y'all talking sideways. You might catch it. They're not getting timed out for everything. This is a place of free speech, but don't waste your speech. You know what, Sean? I'm gonna say this. If you consider putting people in a position where they can, you know what I'm saying, work and get themselves together, then yeah, Trump gonna help black people. If you consider being in a position to work for what you want and get it, then yeah, Trump gonna help black people. Problem is, black people don't want to work, especially black women. And I'm a black woman, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The truth is the truth. I don't know who did that, Dover. Wasn't me. But he said he wasn't talking about Springfield no more till he get up there. That's all I'm saying. He said he going and let him go. He said he got, you know what I'm saying, intel on the ground, and their version is drastically different from what the mayor talking about. But let's keep in mind all of that what's going on over there in Aurora, where they done took over, you know what I'm saying, apartment buildings and all that kind of bullshit. It was the governor was over there talking about some, it's a figment of y'all imagination. The mayor was like, oh, no, the hell it ain't. So, listen, y'all do with that what you want. Y'all do what you want. All I'm saying is feel free to comment, but make sure your comment worth something. All that stupid shit, he going to jail and put Kamala in jail and all that kind of nonsense. We ain't doing that over here because we're not here for that. That's not informational. That ain't helping nobody. Because for one, he ain't going to damn jail. You got a better shot at going to jail than he does. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. You know what? That sounds good though, Prime. I don't want no hot wings though. I want some of that Korean barbecue flavor. That's what I want. And some vegetable fried rice. That sounds good. See, I ain't finna be messing with y'all. That sounds good. Yeah, you need to do something because y'all ain't nobody got time for all of that. I'm just saying. We over here. Hold on. If you can vote Democrat after the damage they've done and intend to do, your commitment to stupidity is truly staggering. Okay, Steven. If Trump goes to prison, a lot of us won't let it happen. He ain't going. You ain't got to worry about none of that. As long as he close up that border and get the economy back going, I'm all in. That's what I'm talking about, Sean. As black people, I'm speaking as a black woman. Black people, since we want to talk about the civil rights and the ancestors and all of that, all they was asking for was a fair shot. They was asking for a fair shot, you know what I'm saying, to put in the work and get what it was they wanted and needed. So again, if one side is gonna offer me that and the other side ain't really saying that's what they gonna do, then I'm gonna go with the side that's gonna offer me the opportunity to get it. Like, come on. Yeah, Eric don't please not. Yeah, straight head hunter for real. Y'all better quit playing. Hold on. Senator Raskin said he's talking with Kamala to reject the electoral votes for Trump on the field. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, especially after what they pulled out the last go round. But I think they used up all their chips. He said Trump is our only hope. Thank you for common sense. You welcome. What you say now? I want $2 gas again. I paid over $15,000 in fuel last year for one truck and trailer. Lord have mercy. That's too much. That's too much. Oof. My Haitian families and friends getting ready to vote our black. Who is the black woman president? Where's she at? We missed her. Where the black woman president? Because Kamala not black, baby. She ain't Haitian neither. She Indian. What you say, Jacob? It was 167 in Wisconsin when Trump was in office. Child, listen, y'all know what I could do with some $1.67 gas. Holla a lot. You said Kamala doesn't have policy, she have police. She said she wanted to defund the police, though, remember? Remember that? She was on a defund the police type of time. I mean, personally, where I am, child, we don't really have no police to defund. Because, honey, wasn't nothing going on. Our police. What you say, anybody who watched Greens in the Tub is not black, child. They made nothing but facts, Prime. You better speak. You better speak about what you know. Speak about what you know. Black people watch no Greens in the Tub. I don't give a damn how many people coming to eat. That is not what we do. What you say? What's it? She bailed out the rioters. The website is still up. Are you talking about the Minnesota Fund? Yeah. And a lot of them people have come out and committed more heinous crimes than what they got locked up for in the first place. Yeah, I'm good on that. Let's talk about Kamala Harris, his policy with gender reassignment. What I having to ask the parents, yeah, give it a child to make. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that anyways. I'll go ahead and let y'all know that ain't never gonna be my thing. So if that bother y'all, then I'm sorry. But yeah, hell no. Liberals will throw you to the curb, especially if you're a minority and agree with Trump. Facts, Steve. Them facts. Who drops 20,000 Haitians on a town of 60,000? Why they not spread out? Listen, when you got sanctuary states, a lot of times in them sanctuary, you know what I'm saying, them sanctuary states, it's certain cities where they have to go. So if Springfield was one of them cities where they gotta go. Yeah. So yeah, if certain cities within that state are earmarked, that's where they gotta go. Just like if you look at New York, all them people ain't rolling out all over New York. They in certain parts. Same thing with Illinois. Most of them they in Chicago in certain parts. You can't just they just ain't letting you roam the state freely. That ain't how they work. We're not a sanctuary state, so we don't have them problems. They try to dump some off here. That didn't even work. What do you say? Employers needed workers. People there didn't want to work. Okay, I mean, listen. Talking about Kamala ain't never cooked no collard greens. Listen, hold on, what? Men can't just become women, even if they eunuchs. That listen, yeah, that 48%. I'm not. It's them unrealized gains. I'm not trying to hear that. I left all that Kasala in there for a reason. You said we in Pink Book need to do a collab. Hey, tell her to get at me. This whole African American stuff. What don't you understand, Steve? We can do our best to try to explain it. What's going on? Hey, 18, what's happening? Tennessee don't play them games, right? You know, we right next door to Tennessee, Prime. We ain't playing them games. Neither. Do not bring them people over here. What you say? When did she another be there? Man, listen. Yeah, keep the comments respectful. Okay, what's going on, Craig? Okay, you Asian? Okay. Is Elon Musk an African American? If he came from South Africa, he absolutely is. African Americans are just that. People from Africa who came to America. Us pigmented people, we black. I don't do that African American nonsense. We black. We gonna leave it at that. We black. Unrealized gains tax is insane. No country in the world uses it for good reason. Facts. Facts. Thank you, Kristen. I appreciate that. Does that mean he can say the N word? No. South African ain't black. Keep it respectful. Honestly, Jason, it don't bother me. I don't know why black people get all worked up over that, but that don't bother me. Yeah, we ain't watching that. That don't bother me. We waste too much time worrying about shit that ain't important because in the grand scheme of things, somebody who ain't black calling you a nigga ain't affecting your life one way or the other. Let's just be real. Yeah, that ain't affecting nothing one way or the other. But we want to act like it's the worst thing in the world. Shine nobody got time for that. What else y'all need to know about being black? Yeah, y'all hit the like button. Springfield was in need of working men and women to fill all of the job openings because so many people left the state when there were no jobs. Okay, well, why ain't they working? Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. People are just going to say mean things, but you don't let them bring you down. What'd you say? Bring you down and be your own. Okay. Same. People worried about the wrong. Yeah, worried about the wrong shit. I'll go ahead and say it. Say prime long down touch. Yeah, call me what you want. Yeah. Take back my thumbs and sub while you speak me disrespect. Why have my try? What the hell are you talking about, Pat? That's fine. Do what you got to do. Does anybody in the chat know Kamala Harris's 100-day plan? I'll wait. He said people need to learn to vote policy over party or personality. Exactly. They need to get the N word out of rap music. I don't even listen to this stuff they got going on today. Ain't even real. I'm from the old school. We ain't doing all of it. I don't listen to none of that nonsense. What else going on? I'm cool. Kubaloo. I'm on my mom's phone, but I'm mixed, and people always make fun of me because of my skin. Why? Here this one come. No such thing as a real 100. Okay. North Carolina's supporting a lot of liberals. They live in them great liberal states to convert Charlotte and Triangle area. They trying, but that shit ain't working. Especially up there in the Triangle area. They up there with Mark Robinson. He ain't playing them games with them people. There absolutely is a such thing as a 100-day plan. I don't know what you talking about. Do you not work? That's a standard interview question. What are your 30, 60, and 90-day plans? And Trump been talking about his 100-day plan for about 3 months. So we gonna need you to pay attention, sir, ma'am, whoever you are. Talking about yo, Miles keep commenting everything. I say give me respect, but not they ain't harassing you. They either gonna let you talk or block you. So seeing how I can still see your messages, clearly you ain't blocked. So what you talking about? You can't come up here and say whatever you want, especially if it's crazy. That ain't how that works. I'm undecided. Let me put it like that, Christian. I'm undecided. What skin said, don't worry about the mods, worry about your comments. Facts. Facts. I'm told you they headhunters. They do not play. I do find black women attractive. I quit caring of what any detractors might think. Okay. What president actually implemented? Actually, Donald Trump, when he was president, he did. You say they pay for trans, they envy you because they have to pay for what comes natural to you. True. Listen, if I ain't feeling what you talk about, I'm gonna put you on timeout. If they ain't feeling what you talk, well, let me back up. If what you saying is not productive to the conversation, you gonna get timed out. If you just straight nasty and disrespectful and put in some shit that potentially get my damn channel demonetized, your ass is gone. You ain't never got you gone. Ain't no conversation, ain't no nothing. You gone. But see how I can still see what you talk about. Looks like neither one of those is happening to you. But it's getting buddy, you on your way out though. Because prove it didn't happen. Oh, you're welcome. You say anyone that can't see the replacement of all the lower class people by the Democratic Party is blind. Yeah. They literally had an entire convention where they had millionaires and billionaires tell poor people about what they was going to do for middle class people. And none of them caught on to what they were saying. I ain't put up the poll today. Facts. Right. Go somewhere if you want. Somewhere else if you want to be disrespectful. Right. Which taxes raised at 48% if Kamala wins. Yeah, we can agree to disagree, but be respectful. Facts. You saying come on the Trump train? Listen. Yeah, prime time for prayers, y'all. If she gonna take 48% of my income, isn't that socialism? Listen. Yeah, basically, yeah, the middle class is decimated. But again, they literally got millionaires and billionaires sitting around talking to poor people, talking about what they're gonna do to help the middle class. You're poor, you're not in the middle class, so they ain't said nothing about what they're gonna do to help you. But you all hyped up. That don't even make no sense. That's like damn Stockholm syndrome. Sometimes when Eric disagree, he mute people. Okay. It's said that liberals only care about the poor and out with they don't even care about the poor. Again, they told the poor people what they was gonna do for the middle class people. They didn't say nothing about we gonna get y'all, we gonna elevate you from being poor and put you in the middle class. They never said that. You must break away from the lies of your party. I'm in North Carolina. Fiery Latina. We just watched Donald Trump speak at a anti-Semitism event. So what time am I streaming the Diddy deal? I don't know. Um, I got some things to say about that. I might have to do a members only stream and then clean that up and get that to the masses. So make sure you get your if you haven't, make sure you get your membership. Um, Danny in here? Hey Danny, if I missed you, yes you did. You done snuck up in here. Hey sir, how you doing? Um, You say liberals will drive miles to transport people to vote for who they want, only to ignore them 40 minutes later. Them some facts, dude. Straight facts. Um, Democratic the Democrat Party provides black people with jobs and education. What more do you want? No, the hell they don't. No, they don't actually. Um, People are too worried about being mean and saying mean things, but they should really keep their mouth shut. Them girl, them ain't number facts. What happened to Trump? Not Trump. He was talking. I mean, it was basic, you know what I'm saying, basic stuff that was talking about, what he had promised them, you know what I'm saying, when he was president before and how he delivered. And he wished them, peace and they quest, for freedom and whatever they got going on over there in their country. And I mean, that was kind of it. But I mean, they was basically like, we voting for you. So I mean, he really ain't have to convince them or nothing. So I mean, it was all right. Hold on. Is North Carolina getting a lot of Kamala ass there yet? I live in Texas. So it's not in play for Dems. Yeah, well, this is the thing though. So when I get one, I get the other. I get both of them at the same time. I'll say that. They said, well, why are you so hostile? I was asking because you typically are the one that has good sources and you seem to know a lot of Kamala's tax plan. Income tax voluntary. Income tax voluntary. You tell that shit to the IRS. Democrats are about all of us. Just jump. I just jumped in and you were like, Danny, is that you? And I was like, that's me. How does she know it's me? Hey. North Carolina works the hardest on their indoctrination party. Lots of powerful Democrats paying lots of money there of propaganda. Well, they ain't getting to me. I'll say that. I second that notion. Distraction. Yep. We stay distracted, folks. Okay, we can't get down with the KKK. What you say, Prime? I haven't seen one Kamala ad in Tennessee. Fiery Latina, I'm not. I'm undecided. Right now, I'm gonna vote for Cornel West. What? Okay, well, yeah. Eric be on it. I ain't gonna lie. Eric be on it. Dumb fact. Eric be on it. But yeah, y'all need folks. Y'all got to just stick with comments that's gonna, saying, further the conversation. All that goofiness, he going to jail, she a hoe. You know what I'm saying? All that, we don't need that. Cause they ain't helping nothing. Girl, wait, that's some foolishness. I'll let y'all work that out. Wait a minute, y'all. Is he coming? Is he finna come back? Hold on. So I just look like he about to come back on. In about like 15 minutes. All right, we gonna kick it and see what else Trump got to say tonight. Hold on. Let me go back. Yeah, all right. Yeah, Cornel West. Right. Wait. Where on her website does it say 48% income tax for everybody in the country? He didn't say it was income tax. We just got to make sure Kamala supporters vote November 6th. Don't vote early because it might get her a lot. Yeah, well, she gonna lose anyway, but hey. Y'all know it's 4 people running for president. How come you can't leave a comment on any of Harris's shows? They turn the chat off. I don't do that, but they be turning the chat off. So she want to raise prices, yeah. How did she get into politics? You know, right? Yeah. You know, only other person I've heard of voting West. Listen. Okay, see this right here. Trump is agreeing. We ain't doing that. That kind of shit. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. We're not doing it. Because that adds nothing to the conversation. Liberals want to preach the differences between races. Trump and conservatives want to preach what many similarities and common destinies we all have as far as common denominators. I agree with that, Steve, because like I said, I've streamed the Republican National Convention and I streamed the Democratic National Convention. Y'all can go back and see. I did every night at RNC. I did every night at DNC. The DNC, all I saw was the complete degradation and eradication of the black man. On the Republican side, I saw, you know what I'm saying, them ingratiating black men, black people, but especially black men. So the Democrats is all about, you know what I'm saying. In my personal opinion, what I got from the whole convention, they on some demon type time. All they was talking about was, you know what I'm saying, abortion and abortion. That's all they was talking about. All these sad stories about some mess that they try to blame on Donald Trump. But when you go back and do the research, half of that took place before Roe v. Wade was even, you know what I'm saying, reversed. So you can't really blame him for that. That's all they was talking about was despair and destruction. That's all I got out of that. Versus on the, you know what I'm saying, on the Republican side, they were basically on some, this is not your great granddaddy's Republican Party. We recognize that the way we was doing things, you know what I'm saying, 75, 100 years ago ain't cutting it today. We got to, you know what I'm saying, retool and reinvent ourselves into a new party that's gonna work for all people. That's what I got from 5 nights I sat and watched them. So if you got one group that's, you know what I'm saying, just strictly on some obliteration type of time, I'm going to obliterate you, but don't ask me no questions about it, versus what we was doing before ain't working now, so we got to do something different. If you care, it only makes sense to see what's being done different. So I encourage anybody, again, on the channel, go back and take a look at the conventions. Like I said, I streamed both of them in their entirety. I think she's talking about on your investments. I think she want 48% on your capital gains, and I think it was like 25 or 27 on your unrealized gains. She want all your damn money. It ain't gonna be no point in having no savings or no portfolio. Cause it's gonna get taxed to death whether you spend it or not. That's what it looked like. Yeah, it looked like he about to say something else. But yeah, yeah, y'all get them likes together. Yeah, it's a crazy tax policy. I saw that clip, Fire Tina. Yeah, I want money. I saw that. I saw that yesterday. Matter of fact, I think the difference between the old Democratic Party and the new Democratic Party is like the difference between lightning and the lightning bug. Don't go to Kamal's website on her site saying she's taxing everything in its entirety and it's gonna affect child. I ain't got no time. I ain't got no time for that. And then the other thing is, when you ask her, what she's talking about, you're saying that the $6,000 child credit, and then the 25,000 for the down payment on the house. Now, when folks get to asking her how she gonna fund all of that, she never answers. Hold on, we gonna look. Renee, that's not true. It was already in the works when Biden took office. So let's do some actual factual research. That shit was already in the works. And you didn't. Let me think. Yeah, no. Trump was president when the 1,200 checks came out because I didn't spend it. But then we got what, 6 with Biden. Yeah. So let's be accurate. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually a documentary coming out about that. Fiery Latina. This is my thing right here. If you, because she's talking about buying a crib and a car seat and all that kind of shit. If you can't afford that, you shouldn't be getting pregnant in the first place. That's where I'm coming from. You shouldn't be getting pregnant in the first place. All right, let's see. Tax cuts of middle class families. Let's see. Expand child tax credit to 6,000. But what about people who out here working who don't have kids? What they get? Okay, hold on. This includes, let's see, relevant. Under her plan, tax rate on long-term capital gains for those earning $1 million or more will be 28%. Make it more affordable. That's not what I just read, Dover. Just stop. And then this whole $50,000 for small businesses. Your business got to be up and running for you to file taxes to even try to get this $50,000. So you can't say that you're giving $50,000 to start up a business, because that means you'll be giving the money before the business even gets started. That's not what that is. See, why she got all this shit on here about Project 2025? This ain't talking about shit. I'm reading it. So provide a pathway to the middle class through quality, affordable education. Education is not how you get rich in America. And we're gonna increase the Pell Grant by $900. Well, that means you not getting rid of student loan debt. Because everybody knows that Pell money don't be enough to pay all your fees and costs. Right. Sorry, not a mother, but exactly. I'm a single woman. So what am I getting? What am I getting? Right. What about us single people with no kids? Yeah, what we getting? What you say, though? But y'all claim to value fact checking, but spew falsehoods consistently. This isn't the way to get Trump back in the White House. We have to be better than okay, but where are you? Because I'm looking at her policies. This don't say this. I saw something about earning more than $1 million, but I don't. You talking about 100 million? I don't see none of that. Yeah, $900 on the Pell Grant is nothing. Hell, that's one class. I'm gonna be real. That's one class. I got one class left before I graduate with my third damn degree. And yeah, it's gonna cost me about 800 and some change. So yeah, them 900 would take care of that. Of course, they want you to have children out of wedlock prime, so you can stay on government assistance, so you can keep falling for the damn foolishness. Take on bad actors and bring down costs. She's talking about taking on big pharma. We went through all of that. And again, if you're not a senior, that's not helping you. What about people who, what about folk your age? Because you ain't no senior neither. What about people your age? Like, let's get into that. And we do not need to invest in childcare. Take care of your kids. If that means you need to stay your ass at home and take care of your kids, then that's what you need to do. We don't need to be sinking no more money into that. So that's that feminism bullshit. No, he didn't say that, Dover. He did say 48%, but I mean, we've had that conversation 7 or 8 times, so we already knew what he was talking about. Thank you, Charles. Having children out of wedlock make it easier for the state to take. Facts. 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 Straight facts. Y'all be telling me y'all want to keep the state out your business, then quit having kids. That's the best way to keep them out your damn business. Do that. If you want to keep them out your business, that's how you do it. But nah, I ain't gonna do that. We said life is not free. I work all my life and still don't have much, but I didn't beg no one for nothing. Okay, Shadow Pop, I feel you. We need to support our housewives who do the hard work. They don't want to be housewives, Prime. That's the problem. They want to be out here and live hot girl summer and lay up with everybody. And they don't want you saying nothing to them. And then when the kids come, you know what I'm saying, and the man don't stay after the man told you before you decided to get pregnant, he wasn't staying because he wasn't feeling you like that. You was just something to do. You got in your feelings, decided to get pregnant, and then he still ain't gonna stay. So now we got to go down to the child support court. So now the state in your damn business. That's all that is. Now you mad. Well, my thing is hell. If all this Democrat, you know what I'm saying, society and all of this shit is so good for you, what you getting evicted for? What you getting evicted for? Evictions at an all-time high amongst black women. Like what's popping? What's popping? Okay, Dover, we just had that conversation. You've been here long enough to know this. Eviction more. We don't need no more eviction moratoriums. That's why we in this situation. These motherfuckers got free money for damn near 2 years, and you couldn't think to pay your rent. You need to be on the damn street. Because I'm gonna be for real. I didn't get to skip no mortgage payments over here. I didn't get to skip no damn home equity payments over here. I didn't get to skip shit. I didn't get to skip no credit card payments. I didn't get to skip no light payments. I didn't get to skip no water bill payments. I didn't get to skip no internet payments. I didn't get to skip shit. So I'm not trying to hear about motherfuckers that was getting thousands of dollars a month and you couldn't pay your damn rent. You supposed to be in the damn street. And please be there when it rains so I can hit a puddle and douse your ass. Listen, I don't want to hear no more of that. This damn foolishness. That's what you decided you wanted to do. And we're going to talk about the bitches who did that shit and then turned around and got pregnant. So y'all don't want to get into none of that. I don't have no time. I don't have no time. None. I don't have no time for that. So I don't give a shit about them getting evicted. This is what I'm saying, Prime. Y'all was working overtime too. I can feel you. I feel you on that, Dover. I don't have no problem with that. I don't have no problem with that. Taco Bell diarrhea. Right now it don't look like it. It don't look like it at all. You said no, can you ask your mortgage to help you? What you mean? It was due. I paid it. That was it. They wasn't trying to hear none of that. They was like, we need our money. I have, because I work. I have a real problem with motherfuckers who, you know, sitting around all day and trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, and begging for money and keep getting pregnant. I absolutely have a problem with that, Dover. If I gotta go to work, take your ass to work. You the one with the free access to school. I got to pay for mine. So yeah, I have a total problem with it. If you something going on or you fall on a hard time and you have a situation, yeah, I don't have no problem with that. But you got damn near 3 years of free money and you couldn't pay your rent, I could give a fuck. Hit the streets. Hit the streets. Okay, Ricardo, I feel you. I feel you on that. I absolutely feel you on that. I sure do. No, he's guilty of some things, but not that shit that was in that indictment. He ain't guilty of that. He ain't guilty of none of that. Cause first of all, that shit was made up. Right, yeah. I ain't get no food stamps. I ain't get no nothing because I don't have no kids. So it's like you punish for being decent and giving a shit about your reputation. I feel you, Charles. You raised 3 girls with no assistance because you ain't want the government in your business. I can dig it. I can dig it. What 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 are you talking about, Dover? What is what made up? They say hard to resist lots of money, lots don't want to father to raise kids. Exactly. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? Now that the gravy train has come to a screeching halt, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear nothing at all from none of them. It's over. Okay, so this game raggedy. Thursday night football raggedy. Okay. You said so. Tell that whole situation about. Okay, so this is the thing, Dover. The laws that they're prosecuting him under was that bullshit they made up so that Cassie could sue him. If you look up sex trafficking, the definition of actual sex trafficking does not match what's in that damn indictment. So, yeah. And then she signed an agreement when she took that check from him that she wasn't gonna be out here talking. So why she running her damn mouth? What you say, Farrah? My daughter got food stamps and she doesn't have kids. There are some programs out there that will help a little. Listen, $16 a month. That's what they be offering people that don't have no kids right where I am. $16. Yes, Dover, but the whole thing is women. The grand jury was women. The prosecutors is women. They so-called star witness that we don't even know who it is yet. It is the whole thing is women. I need 2 jobs. I want to pay the bills. One to pay the bills and one to eat. Exactly. Exactly. Again, the shit that went on with Cassie, the statute of limitation been run out on that. So again, that's why they went and created these laws to try to spin the block. Thank you, Danny. Everybody was grown. But again, what else y'all got besides this Cassie shit? Yeah, you need 3 jobs. You need a job for everything you want to do. Let's just roll with that. You need a job for everything that you want to do. And that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I'm not a believe all women type of chick. That ain't for me. So I'm just gonna let y'all know now. You're gonna have to prove something. And from what I read, that burden of proof is gonna be a tall order. What you said? Not lie. Like, how can Trump have interaction on himself, but Biden did on Trump? Listen, they keep changing the meaning of trafficking. This is what I'm talking about, Prime. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. See, I'm glad all my kids ain't grown on their own. Yep, you can't afford these kids now. And unless you a leech, I'm telling you, unless you a woman and you a woman leech, that's the only way. And then if we're gonna be honest, them kids ain't growing up in the best environment. Like, let's be for real. Them kids not living their best life. Because most of the time, them be the kids, you know what I'm saying, that only eat at school on free lunch. So how is that living your best life with your mama getting help hand over fist? That's what's wrong with the black community. I don't need no man. I can do it all by myself. And all you've done is create a big ass mess that we can't clean up. That's all that's going on, and that's real. You glad? But I mean, the free lunch ain't worth a damn. They're not getting fresh vegetables and healthy food. They getting that bullshit frozen pizza and damn chicken nuggets. Everything they getting is processed. So I mean, hell, that still ain't, you know what I'm saying? They eat them, but it ain't the best. Hold on. The Q reporter. Child, and then all these conspiracy theories and all this kind of old nonsense in behind this. Y'all quit worrying about Diddy and look at what's really going on. Yeah, the same thing these young mothers feed. If they feed them, a team, I'm telling you, if they feed them. Like I have some friends that are educators, and you know what I'm saying, they talk. Oh, wait, hold up, y'all. Trump back on. Hold on.
To the hills of Tennessee. Across the
Exactly, he'll distract.
Thank you very much, everybody. I figured we would listen to the whole song.
Please don't.
But let's get down to business, right? Let's get down to business.
Thank you.
And I want to thank Miriam. This is a great woman, a really great woman who loves Israel, loves the Jewish people. And she's really a special person. So I very much appreciate that she was here to introduce. Thanks also to the Israeli-American Council and CEO, my former special envoy to combat anti-Semitism, who did a phenomenal job. Where is Mr. Carr? He's around here someplace. Where is he? Great job. Great job. Thank you very much, Eva. Co-chairs Avi Almozlino and Tal Schuster. Thank you. We have the honor of having a very powerful man with us right now. He's the Speaker of the House, and he's really doing a good job. Mike Johnson. Mike. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. And one of the very top people in Congress. She's like a rocket ship. She's going up so fast. She totally destroyed the president of Harvard, you saw, with the big glasses, those big glasses. She asked her a simple question, and that was the end. She didn't get a very good answer. Actually, sounded a little bit like Kamala. But a really special person doing a phenomenal job in Congress, Elise Stefanik. That's a pretty good hand. They jumped up. What was that all about, Elise? That's pretty impressive. Ambassador Michael Herzog. Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A friend of mine, a great lawyer, and his beautiful wife is with him, Alan Dershowitz. Very, very nice. Thank you, Alan. And many other very distinguished guests. I have so many that I can't call because we don't have enough time. We're on television. We're all over the place, and I'm supposed to be calling out names that nobody ever heard of, so we won't do that. But please know that we love you all, including congressmen and senators that are here. We have a lot of them. Thank you. Thank you very much. Before we begin, I just want to mention some polls that just came out. They just came out. Remember in the old days, I used to call the polls because the fake news would never do it. I said, if I don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. Highly respected Rasmussen poll, one of the most respected polls. According to the Rasmussen, just out a little while ago, we're leading by 8 points, 52 to 44. 8 points, it's good. And they were that's national, and they were very accurate the last time. So a lot of respect for Rasmussen. And they also have us up 11 with independents. That's pretty good. The Emerson poll came out, another good one, highly respected. We're up in Arizona, we're up in Wisconsin, we're up in Pennsylvania, 3 states so far. Oh, I don't believe this. I don't believe it. Even the New York Times has us way up in the Midwest. Can you believe that? Oh, that was painful for them to say. We're 9 up in the Midwest. That's very good. And the Atlanta Journal-Constitution has us 3 up in Georgia. That's good. That's good. And CNN, can you believe this, has us? They did Arizona, 5 up in Arizona. So we're doing well. Daily Express, we're 5 up nationally, in the battleground states. So 47 days from now, we're going to defeat Kamala Harris. We're going to take back our country. And we're going to, quite simply, make America great again, right? We're gathered tonight to talk about the sacred bond between the United States and Israel, and it's a bond that's in serious trouble. There's never been anything like it. I believe that we are closer to World War III than at any time in the history of this country since the Second World War. There's never been anything like this period of time that we're going through, and we have leaders that are grossly incompetent. They have no idea what's happening. In less than 3 weeks, we will mark the 1-year anniversary of the deadliest attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust. On October 7th, Hamas terrorists slaughtered more than 1,200 Israelis, including men, women, children, and even little beautiful babies. They tortured, wounded, kidnapped, and horribly maimed thousands more. What a horrible time. Unthinkable. Could not have happened if I was president. Would not have happened. You know that. Iran had no money. There was no money for terror. 28 terror organizations, including Hezbollah and Hamas, they had no money. There were lots of stories about it. We had no terrorism during the Trump administration. Remember that. Tonight, we honor the memory of all who lost their lives in the October 7th attacks. And we pray to God that Israel will redeem their deaths with ultimate victory over those who wish to destroy it. And we're honored, thank you very much, and we're honored to be joined this evening by several of the victims of the October 7th attack, that horrible, horrible day. Former Hamas hostage Andrei Kozlov, who was recused. Yeah. Andrei was rescued by the IDF after 8 months of very horrible captivity. I can imagine. Where's Andrei? Is Andrei here someplace? Yes? Yes. Come on up here, Andrei. He's got more courage than I have. Come on up here. He's a good-looking guy. I just said, do you want to say something? And she wasn't exactly sure. Say something, Andrei.
I'm a little bit shy. I'm close to Trump, like I'm shy. What can I say? Thank you so much for this careness, and I really appreciate endlessly. Really, thank you.
Well done. We'll see you, man. Congratulations. You look beautiful.
Thank you so much.
He's a good-looking guy. Also with us is Dede Simchi, the father of Guy Simchi, who was murdered on October 7th. And I will tell you, that was just a horrible thing. And I've said hello. Could you please stand up? What a great gentleman to suffer like he suffered. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. I appreciate it very much. Would you like to come up? We'd love to honor you. Would you like to come up? Come on up. Come on, in honor of your boy. In honor of your boy.
Not your boy.
Thank you very much. I very, very appreciated what you are doing for Israel, what you did, and what you will done. I hope for. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great man, what they've had to endure. Also with us are the parents of several of the current hostages, and hopefully we're going to be getting them back very, very soon. Very, very soon. Thank you all for being here. Thank you very, very much. What you're going through is very hard to even understand how it could have happened in the first place. I'd like to ask you just to stand for a second, please, in honor of what we're all here for, because we're going to get them out. They're going to come out. Thank you all very much. That's a great group of people. And that's a lot of people, too. We're going to get them out. We're going to get them out. Thank you.
Bring them home. 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 Bring them home.
Thank you very much for being with us. And we pray for you. And somehow it's going to work out. We're going to get it to work out. And this evening, we repeat the vow that we have kept in our hearts since the terrible day in October. Never again, never again. This should never have ever happened. This should never have happened. Should never have happened. Weak leadership in the United States allowed this to happen, and it should never have happened. It would never have happened. It's so sad to see. 1 year after the horrific massacre, we are instead threatened with a different future, one in which October 7th happens again and again. We have to recognize it again and again. I'm here tonight to deliver an urgent warning to Jewish Americans and to every friend of Israel all around the world. And you have so many Christian friends. They love Israel. So important. I have so many Christian friends, and you know, when I first started running, I will tell you a story. Maybe I shouldn't, but I will. I was campaigning in 2015 in Iowa in a very Christian area, and there were about 6,000 people, and it was in a church, and they were very religious Christians. And the father, the minister, and a few others were there, and they said, "Sir, would you please say something great about Israel?" I said, "Say it again. Say it again," because I didn't realize, you know, in the old days, it wasn't like this. He said, "If I say something good about Israel, that's not a positive for this particular group, is it?" "No, sir. If you say something good about Israel, they'll love you." I said, my, things have changed. How things have changed, right, Miriam? So I was a little bit circumspect, to put it mildly. And I went out there, and that place went wild because they liked me right from the beginning. I don't know why. A lot of people have bad taste, I guess. But they liked me right from the beginning. And I said, we love Israel, and we will save Israel, and we will fight with Israel. And the place went wild. I said, what the hell is going on? They love Israel. I hate to say it. Sometimes they love Israel much more than Jewish people in New York love Israel. Alan Dershowitz knows that. They really do. It's an amazing thing, and that's when it really started, and it was incredible. But you have Christians and evangelical Christians. They love Israel so much. And it's great to see that. It's great to see it. If we continue down our current path with 4 more years of Kamala, and I don't say Harris because when I say Harris, nobody knows who the hell I'm talking about. I just said it to another group. You know, Miriam has me working hard here. I have this group, that group, that, but this is the big one, right, Miriam? This is the big one. But don't worry, I said that to the last group also. No, she's got me working hard. But it's sort of interesting when you look at what we're doing and how important a mission we're on. If we continue down our current path with 4 more years of Kamala, Israel will be faced not just with an attack, but with total annihilation. And I hate to say it so much. It's total annihilation. That's what you're talking about. You don't have a protector. You have a big protector in me. You don't have a protector on the other side. And I've said long and loud, anybody, and especially over the last few years, anybody who's Jewish and loves being Jewish and loves Israel is a fool if they vote for a Democrat. But beyond that, if they love Israel, anybody that votes for a Democrat or Kamala especially, because this is the worst ever. This is the worst you've ever had. This one makes Barack Hussein Obama look like he loved Israel by comparison. But you should have your head examined because it will face an unceasing bloody war to obliterate the Jewish state and drive Jews out of the Holy Land. That's what they want to do. They want to drive Jews out of the Holy Land. And they are not forgiving people. You found that out on October 7th. By the way, when Trump was president, you had no problems, did you? None. You had no problems. You ever think of that? I wanted to tell Israel that numerous times during the presidency, but I didn't want to do that and then have something bad happen. But nothing bad was going to happen. They didn't have the money to prosecute the war. Nothing was going to happen. We had everything in check, beautifully in check. And by the way, Russia would have never attacked Ukraine either, just so you know. We wouldn't have had inflation. We wouldn't have had that horrible situation in Afghanistan where we lost 13 great soldiers, where $85 billion worth of brand new, beautiful military equipment that I bought, beautiful stuff. I bought and they gave it away. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And we wouldn't have that. We left American hostages behind. Remember that. All of that wouldn't have happened. Think of it. October 7th would have not happened. That wouldn't have happened. And we wouldn't have had inflation. It was started by a stupid oil policy and a spending policy. We would have never had inflation, which has destroyed many families. Let me spell out bluntly the danger of 4 more years of weakness in this White House. If Kamala is reelected, Iran will quickly obtain nuclear weapons. They're already about ready to do it, okay? And you know, they were so broke, and I'm not looking to hurt anybody, but they were broke. I had sanctions. Anybody that did any business with Iran could not do business with the United States. I told President Xi of China, if you do business with Iran, if you buy 1 barrel of oil from Iran, you're not doing any more business with the United States, and I'm going to put on tariffs of 200%. And China didn't buy anything. And other countries likewise, other countries. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. And Iran was ready to do something. They were ready to make a deal. They weren't spending the money because they didn't have the money to spend. And you didn't have a single strike. You had nothing happen during this period of time. It was a beautiful time. Not a single strike. Thank you very much. Thank you. So Iran will right now quickly obtain nuclear weapons capable of killing millions and millions of people, Jewish people, non-Jewish people. There's no discrimination with nuclear weapons, you know that, and the power is unbelievable. And I know because I renovated, fixed, and bought brand new nuclear weapons. We have the greatest nuclear stockpile now, but I hated to do it because the devastation is nothing. This will be Third World War, if it happens, and we're relying on stupid people, if it happens, this will not be 2 army tanks going back and forth and shooting. This will be, again, obliteration. This could be world obliteration. And we have to get back to common sense, and we have to get back to good leaders that are respected by the other side. Our leaders are not respected by Russia. They're not respected by China. They're not respected by Kim Jong-un of North Korea. They're not respected, frankly, by anybody. From behind this nuclear shield, the regime will be free to unleash its militant terror brigades to turn the Jewish homeland into hell on earth. They've already started with October 7th. Rockets will rain down from above until the Iron Dome has been exhausted. You know, the Iron Dome is great, but when you send too many, there's not a thing it can do. It's exhausted. It becomes exhausted. They call it that. They want to exhaust, and they send up anything. They send up, they call it garbage into the air. Let them keep sending their missiles up, and eventually they don't have any missiles to protect, and that's when it begins. We can't do that. Terrorist death squads will conduct constant raids into Israeli territory from all sides, going door to door and torturing, raping, kidnapping, and massacring innocent civilians. This is what it is, and you know that better than anybody because you've just seen it. A year ago, Tel Aviv and Jerusalem will become unlivable war zones as suicide attacks grind life to a halt. So as president, I would look at a map of the Middle East and I'd see a massive, massive piece of land, and I'd see a little dot just like this stage and that right at the top. This would be Israel. And I said to Miriam, I said to Sheldon, I said to friends of mine, how can such a big piece of land, I mean, how could this be possible where you have that little piece of land surrounded by massive numbers of people and soldiers, big armies? Iran has a big army. Big mistake when another administration took out Iraq. You know, you had two for centuries. They would fight each other under different names, under religion, but they were the same strength. And they'd fight and fight and fight, and then they'd relax. And then they'd fight and fight and fight. This went on for centuries. And then somebody who wasn't a very smart person eliminated one of the sides, and the other one was left with nobody to fight. And now the other one basically has Iraq as a subsidiary. And Iraq is very rich, and so is Iran very rich. When I was there, Iran had no money. Now Iran has $350 billion, all made in 3.5 years. They took off the sanctions. But Iraq is like a subsidiary of Iran. Don't let anyone ever tell you. And Iraq has over $300 billion. So this is a very rich two nations, and they are essentially one. And they're getting closer and closer all the time. This is a nightmare that should have never happened. Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, you see the Houthis all over? They've long dreamed of making all of this come true. And if Kamala Harris wins the election, her weakness and incompetence, she's grossly incompetent. Look, she can't do an interview, okay? And let me tell you, I won that debate by a lot. By a lot. You know, I walked off the stage, I said, man, did I beat her, even though I was against 3 people. I kept saying, I said, what are you doing here? And you know, the things I said were right. Like I said, we have massive increases in crime. And David Muir said, that's not true. The statistics show that crime is going down. Anybody in their right mind, take a look at what's happening from the border, that we have crime that's worse. I said, you're wrong on that. Crime is going down. Now let's go to the next one. I said, what the hell was that all about? I only have one regret, that I wanted to be elegant and I didn't want to attack the anchors, which would have been very easy to do. So I didn't attack them, but I should have attacked them because it was 3-on-1. It's like a basketball game, 3-on-1. It's very hard. But we did well. And you know what? Since the debate, we're getting great kudos because they're analyzing the debate. They say, you know, Trump was right. I was right on everything. She made up all these stories, a bloodbath story. She made up all of these stories. It's disgraceful. And that's the problem we have. We have a fake media. And so we have to fight harder, and we have to be stronger, and we have to be much smarter. And by the way, Israel and Jewish people are attacked by the media that I can't even believe. The New York Times is controlled by a Jewish family. I don't think there's anybody worse to Israel than the New York Times is. I read articles about Israel that I know are false. The New York Times and plenty of others. So my message today is very simple. If you want Israel to survive, you need Donald J. Trump as the 47th president of the United States. It's a very simple message. Very, very simple. Right? You. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Under my leadership, America will once again stand shoulder to shoulder with our friend and ally, the state of Israel. Right now, all they do is fight the state of Israel. Don't do this, don't do that. I will support the same people that gave us Afghanistan are telling you what to do, by the way, which every one of those generals should have been fired. You know, I knocked out ISIS in 4 weeks. It was supposed to take 5 years. I did it in 4 weeks. I had great generals. We have the greatest army in the world, but not the people that are on television. These are people that don't know what the hell they're doing. They should have all been fired. I will support Israel's right to win its war on terror, and it has to win it fast. Will you please win it fast? Win it, but you have to win it fast if you can. And I was always, thank you very much. I will always defend Israel's fundamental right to exist as a Jewish nation in the Jewish homeland. That's what it's about, isn't it? But remember this, you're under attack like never before. There's never been a time like this that people can remember. This was a period, they say, if you read, and I find it very interesting, but this was just before the Holocaust. I think there's a very great similarity because nobody can believe what's been happening. If Kamala Harris wins instead of the most pro-Israel president ever, which I have been already declared to be, you will have the most anti-Israel president by far, far worse than Barack Hussein Obama. Over the past 12 months, Kamala Harris has repeatedly demanded an immediate ceasefire to save Hamas. She wants to save Hamas. Meanwhile, she and Biden deployed U.S. military to build a $230 million pier to resupply Hamas. The pier didn't work out too well. Every time there was a little rough weather, the thing got ripped apart. Those of you in the real estate business know what I'm going to say. Those contractors made a hell of a lot of money. 230 million every time there's just a little rain. It blew apart. Wonderful job. This was not General Patton's bridge. General Patton knew how to build them. He built them fast and cheap. Kamala Harris has even suggested that she would consider imposing a full arms embargo against Israel, and what she wants to do. One thing about politicians, like she wants to defund the police, she wants to do all these things, no fracking, you know, now she wants fracking, no fracking. For 20 years, there will be no fracking. And then she's a chameleon. He said, that's true. She just yesterday reaffirmed her support for blocking major arms shipments, as you know, to Israel. She blocked them. If these are positions Kamala Harris takes before the election, just wait to see what she would do after the election. You won't have a country left. Israel will be doomed. I really mean that. Israel will be doomed. And, you know, I said to Miriam today, I said, you know, they have to go through a little tough love here today because we have to tell the facts. Israel will not exist within 2 years if she becomes president. And what a difference a president makes. Big difference. Just 4 years ago, when I left office, the United States and Israel were safer, closer, and stronger than they have ever been before, by far. Under my leadership, we totally obliterated the ISIS caliphate. We terminated its founder and leader, al-Baghdadi. I withdrew from the horrendous Iran nuclear deal and imposed the toughest ever sanctions on the Iranian regime. They had no money. They wanted to make a deal. The saddest part, They had no money. They wanted to make a deal. And these guys came in and they never made a deal. You could have made any deal, but now they're rich again because he took all the sanctions off and everybody started buying, in particular China. China went from buying nothing under Trump to buying billions and billions of dollars of oil a month. I withdrew from the Anti-Semitic UN Human Rights Council, which was a big thing. I sanctioned the anti-American and anti-Israel radicals of the International Criminal Court. Many of you know what that meant. That was a big deal. I defunded the Palestinian Authority and choked off all of the money to Hamas. Don't forget, nobody ever did that. I said, how much are we paying them? Almost $1 billion, sir. I say, they treat us so disrespectfully. They say death to America, and we're giving them money. Why are we giving them money when they say death to America? So I said, how much money do we give them? Almost $1 billion. I said, tell them they're in default. You're not supposed to treat us that way when we give you money. Tell them that they won't be getting money anymore until such time as we make a deal. And I will tell you, we had them very, very close, and then we had an election that really hurt it, and too bad. But we did do the Abraham Accords and other things, but I would have even preferred to do this. We would have had something done. Just as I promised, I recognized Israel's eternal capital and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Jerusalem became the capital. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. You know, Miriam and Sheldon would come into the White House probably almost more than anybody outside of people that worked there. And they were always after, and as soon as I'd give them something, always for Israel. As soon as I'd give them something, they'd want something else. I'd say, give me a couple of weeks, will you please? But I gave them the Golan Heights, and they never even asked for it. You know, for 72 years, they've been trying to do the Golan Heights, right? And even Sheldon didn't have the nerve. But I said, you know what? I said to David Friedman, give me a quick lesson, like 5 minutes or less on the Golan Heights. And he did. And I said, let's do it. We got it done in about 15 minutes, right? 72 years. You know, for 72 years, it's true. Planes would fly in, fly out, fly in. In the old days, there weren't such nice planes. But they'd fly in every year. They'd have a meeting on the Golan Heights. They'd have lunch. They'd have dinner. They'd have this. They'd have that. They'd leave. Nothing would happen, right? And then one day, Trump came along, and it was done very quickly. 4 years ago, last Sunday, we signed the historic Abraham Accords. It's a big deal. And secured peace in the Middle East. That was peace in the Middle East, really. 4 very strong countries. And we would have had all of the countries signed. I'll even make... We would have had, in my opinion, I know this sounds ridiculous, I believe Iran even would have signed because of all of the benefits and all of the trade and all of the other things. I believe that, but we won't get a chance to see that because the 4 countries are still 4 countries. Within 6 months, we would have had just about all of the countries done. Biden and Kamala have done no countries into the Abraham. It's still there with the 4, but nothing's been added to it. It's a shame. But from the moment Kamala got to the White House, she and Crooked Joe took over historic successes and turned them into unprecedented failure and peril. You know that. Harris restored funding to the Palestinian organizations immediately, giving them billions and billions of dollars. And much of that money went directly to Hamas. Then Kamala and Joe Biden delivered over $100 billion in sanctions relief, all stuff that I held back. And I would have been very good. They would have been very happy. I wanted one thing from Iran: no nuclear weapon. I didn't want much. No nuclear weapon. And now they're very close to getting it, and you can't let that happen. They're very close to getting it. Here at home, Kamala's partnered, and she's partnered with anybody she can. You hear the things coming out of the administration. You hear what they're saying. But she pandered to the Hamas supporters and the anti-Semites in her own party. The things she says, it's not even believable. She said that radical anti-Israel demonstrators at college campuses were, quote, showing what human emotion should be. Oh, isn't that nice? I'm telling you, Israel has no chance. Jewish people that love Israel have no chance. As border czar, which she denies she ever was, but she was the border czar. But even if she wasn't, she was in charge of the border. So what difference does it make? She let in thousands and thousands of terrorists at our southern border. 21 million people, of which thousands of terrorists have poured in. When I was there, I let in almost none, almost none. They had a chart that was a very well-known chart. I liked it very much. It's probably my favorite chart of all time. Remember that? I looked to the right. Let me see that chart. I looked. It's my favorite chart of all time, but it showed the great numbers that we had. But one of the numbers that was released recently was that in 2019, one of my years, I don't believe this number, by the way. It was done by Homeland Security. I appreciate it, but I don't believe it. I had no terrorists coming into the United States. They had zero. Now we have thousands. So I don't believe the zero, but the number was very low, 10, 12, 5. How can it be zero? But they actually have zero. Then I had zero terrorists. So we used to check it, but we had very little. Now we have thousands and thousands of terrorists pouring into our country. It's so sad, and only bad can happen. Only bad things are going to happen. She imported migrants from terrorist hotspots all over the world, and now we have armies of jihadist sympathizers brazenly marching through the streets of our cities. I've never seen anything like it. Where did they come from? How did they get here? Kamala Harris is the candidate of the forces that want to destroy Western civilization. The other day, in fact, it was yesterday, the FBI reported that Iran has spied on my campaign. I'm going to have to hire Alan Dershowitz. Only Alan Dershowitz could do it. Iran has spied on my campaign. Think of this. And given the information to Kamala. What's that all about? That alone should get me elected. Think of it. Iran got the information from my campaign and gave it immediately to Kamala and the campaign apparatus over on the other side. I'm the candidate of those who want to defend Western civilization, defend Israel, and defend the United States of America. When I return to the White House, we will quickly restore stability in the Middle East, and we will return the world to peace. And remember the phrase, peace through strength. You know, I had no wars for 4 years. I remember crooked Hillary Clinton. Remember, she was up debating me, and she said, look at him. Look at his rhetoric. He's going to cause wars. I said, no, my rhetoric's going to keep us out of wars. And that's what happened. We had no war for 4 years, other than I finished off ISIS. No war. First time in 78 years, by the way, just to brag a little bit, because nobody else is going to say it if I don't. Israel will have the support it needs and the powerful ally that it deserves in the United States. Here at home, I will ban refugee resettlement from terror-infested areas like the Gaza Strip. We will restore the travel ban, some people call it the Trump travel ban, and keep the radical Islamic terrorists out of our country. That was upheld by the Supreme Court, and it really did work. Again, we had no terrorist attacks into the United States. Think of it. Now I'm talking United States, if that's okay. We had no terrorist attacks for 4 years. Nothing. Nothing. They knew, don't play games with us. And we will deport the foreign jihad sympathizers and Hamas supporters from our midst. We will get them out. If you hate America, if you want to eliminate Israel, we will throw you out of our country so rapidly your head will spin. We're going to get them back. We're going to get those beautiful kids in some cases, because they're always your children. You know, they'll say, oh, he said children. No, they're always your children. And some older people also, by the way, but we're going to get them back. We got to get them back. We can't let this happen again. So incredible that you're to make the trip. So many people. it makes me realize how important this is, Miriam, frankly, for so many people to make the trip. And there's nothing more important than what you're going through. And there's nothing more important than the people that you love. And it will be so beautiful to see it work out well. We got to make it work out well. Got to make it. And to confront the crisis of anti-Semitism at our universities, I will tell college presidents that they must end the anti-Semitic propaganda, or they will lose their accreditation and they will lose all federal support.
Y'all want to policy, there you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is the most important election in the history of the United States, and it's also the most important election in the history of Israel. Can you imagine that? A non-Israeli election is the single most important election that Israel will ever have. Isn't that something? With all I have done for Israel, I received only 24% of the vote, but I understood that. That was in 2016. And, you know, it's one of those things I thought I'd do much better. I happen to have a Jewish daughter. I have a Jewish son-in-law. I have 3 Jewish grandchildren. I thought I'd do much better. But I only got 24%. Think of that. And then I became president of the United States and was the best president ever for Israel and for the Jewish people by far. Nobody was close. I gave them Golan Heights. I gave them the Abraham Accords. I recognized the capital of Israel and opened the embassy in Jerusalem. And most importantly of all, I terminated the Iran nuclear deal, which was the worst deal ever made in the history of Israel, in the history of the Middle East. I was there 4 years, gave them billions and billions of dollars. I was the best friend Israel ever had. And still in 2020, now I've done all these things. So now Jewish people have no excuse. I got 29%. I went from 25 to 29%. Think of that. Honestly, you didn't treat yourselves well. You didn't. It was a terrible thing. And what made me even more upset about it is the current polling has just been announced. Now, I just announced the polls and I'm now polling at about 40%. That means 60% of Jewish people are going to vote for Kamala or a Democrat. And honestly, you ought to have your heads examined. You ought to have your heads examined. And those votes may be necessary for us to win. I say us to win because we're in this together. But who are these people? Who are the 60% that would vote? And I really believe that bad things, very bad things are going to happen. And I'll put it to you very simply and as gently as I can. I wasn't treated properly by the voters who happen to be Jewish. I don't know, do they know what the hell is happening? If I don't win this election, and the Jewish people would really have a lot to do with that if that happens, because at 40%, that means 60% of the people are voting for the enemy. Israel, in my opinion, will cease to exist within 2 years. And I believe I'm 100% right. You know, there's a hat that comes out, Trump was right about everything, and I believe I'm right. And that's a hell of a thing to say, but I believe I'm right. If I do win, Israel will be safe and secured. We will stop the toxic poison of anti-Semitism from spreading here. All over America, it's spreading. It's spreading like it's never spread before. I've never seen anything like it. I really believe it would be obliteration, and it'll happen quickly, too. It's very close to happening. With your vote, we will reject anti-Semitism in our schools, reject it in our foreign policy. We will reject it in our immigration system. But all of that starts with rejecting Kamala Harris at the ballot box this election. Number one, she doesn't know what the hell she's doing. She doesn't know. She can't do an interview. How do you think she'll do against President Xi? She can't do an interview. And I'm not even saying she's stupid for not doing that, but her handlers know what they're doing. Can't have it. We went through 4 years of that. We can't go through another 4 years of that. Together, we will save the United States of America, and we will save the state of Israel on November 5th, 2024. It will be the most important day in the history of Israel. It'll be the most important day in the history of the United States. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you. God bless Israel. Thank you.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I
We go. Okay, y'all. So we got both of them. Hold on. Y'all going kind of hard. Yeah, the debate. Well, that wasn't a debate. I don't know what the hell that was. That was utter foolishness. Because I didn't learn anything more about either one of them than I knew when it came on. All right, y'all. So Trump does Washington, D.C. We have seen both press conferences, well, if that's what you want to call it, roundtable, statement, speech, whatever you want to call it. We have seen both of them. We have had plenty of good conversation in the chat. He is scheduled to be. Where is he gonna be? Hold on. I had it written down. Hold on, good people. Saturday. He's actually going to be back in my home state. He is going to be in Wilmington, North Carolina. That is where his daughter-in-law Laura is from. So I'm sure she will be there as well. But we will definitely be popping in to take a look and see what's going on. I'm gonna see if I can get my dad and my uncle to go. So we can get some boots on the ground type of coverage to see what's going on, because I don't have time to ride down there. That's like a 3.5 hour ride from here. If I didn't have other stuff going on, y'all know I would go for y'all. But I don't have the time. Not Saturday. If it was next Saturday, then I could go. But we will be streaming live on that. If anything happens between now and then, because he loves to add stuff in, we will bring that as well. If Kamala pops up somewhere, we'll have her as well, just like we did when she was with the National Association of Black Journalists, because that wasn't really a publicized event. But like I said, if she does anything, we'll have that. We'll have Trump on Saturday. Again, I'm gonna say I show this so that everybody can be informed. So when they vote, they can make an informed decision. I'm not trying to influence you one way or the other. And we're here for information. So that is the spirit that we are running this on. Again, I do appreciate each and every one of you guys showing up. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out if you have not. Make sure you subscribe if you have not, and make sure your notifications are on. Thank you to all of my moderators. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. I still haven't forgot about them videos. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do. I might just do a live and hit them all at one time. I don't know. I'm still kicking around that idea. But I'll let you know what I'm gonna do. Again, guys, have a great evening. Again, take the information for what it is. If it helps you, fantastic. If not, that's fine too. Maybe at some point something else may help you or resonate with you. But at this point, guys, I'm going to say good night and take care. I will see y'all later.